You know what I am? A problem solver. I take out the trash. I remove those hard-to-get-at stains. Oh, let's just put it this way. I'm a people person.
You know, that's a Stallone line right now.
You know what? Don't ever let Stallone narrate your movie. Because you won't know what the fuck is going on.
Boy, he's awake, but them lips are falling asleep.
No. The right side of his lips, that's the only place that's open for business. The rest of it is closed.
His top lip is watching a movie. His bottom lip is reading a book. They're doing two separate things.
I know.
And he's trying to get them words out.
Will somebody open up that door already?
Boy, them lips need some WD-40.
Yeah, they do.
I ain't never heard nobody's lips creak when they try to open.
I know. It's like, damn, dude, quit working out your goddamn lips. Your lips are so goddamn muscly, they can't even move.
Damn, boy, I know. Shit, that fool's bottom lip can lift a dumbbell, man.
It turned into a dumbbell.
It is a dumbbell. Shit, he's having trouble lifting that shit up.
I know.
He's having trouble lifting that shit up to just make words, man.
I know. That's why that left part or that right part is dangling down, trying to grab onto dear life like Tom Cruise on the side of that mountain.
Yeah, man. Shit, them lips are ready to go.
I know. It is strange though, listening even in the Expendables, I don't think he sounded as bad, but in this movie, I was like, who they got narrating this shit? Lurch? Goddamn Addams Family?
If they make another Addams Family movie,
yeah,
put Stallone on some platform shoes and in a tuxedo, let him answer the door.
Nice tux.
Yeah, because outside of that tuxedo and just putting him, making him look tall, because he's short.
Oh, no, he is a short motherfucker. Yeah,
but just outside of putting a tuxedo on him and making him look tall, he's Lurch, man.
He is Lurch. Either that or he's starting to look like a California raisin, too. Especially when there's scenes in the opening of this movie where they go through his criminal background, and they have pictures, they took, the promo pictures from Rocky, and then another shot from Rambo.
Yeah.
And then and then another picture comes up, it's like, what the fuck is a California raisin going up? Oh, that's Stallone now.
What that mound of clay come from with that wig on it?
Yeah, I know. All
I just want to interview that dude, and if I see him, I just say, hey, man, just say one thing for me. Say, you rang.
That's exactly how it sounds.
I'd be like, man, forget it, man. I got my day. But God bless him, though.
Yes.
Oh, God bless him, man. I still enjoy looking at that fool, man.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, like I said, just like Schwarzenegger, when he's on screen, I don't know, there's that inner child that just gets happy and excited just to know, all right, this motherfucker's here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and
guess what?
Yeah.
His face look like bubble gum.
Yeah, his face, exactly. and that's what you're going to get, especially with this movie.
Man, this movie, let me just explain to people, because would you agree, co-host? Right off the bat, we got to let people know. This movie's not going to get a lot of good reviews.
Oh, hell no.
And a lot of people are going to come out and they're going to tell you how bad it is. And I don't give a shit.
Yeah, at this point, who gives a fuck? Yeah, who gives a fuck? This movie is gritty. It is dirty. It's muscly. I mean, it's
gummy.
It thinks it's gummy. You can't understand a goddamn word anybody is saying.
It's squeaky.
Squeaky.
But you call it a lot of things. You can call it good, you can call it bad. But one thing that I think that this movie really relies on to rise above your average action film is that, just like I said with the Last Stand, it's got a sense of humor.
It does. It has a great sense of humor about it, and that is the one thing that really saved it.
Yeah, and it's not like the Last Stand. With the Last Stand, I mean that was almost cutesy humor, especially for a rated R movie like that.
Yeah, it's like looking at Schwarzenegger going, oh, he's old, but he's still doing the same old tricks. Look at that old dog work.
Look at Grandpa. Look at Grandpa shoot that guy.
Look at him run.
No, that movie was a straight up comedy.
It is.
I mean, and that's probably where some people saw fault with the film. They didn't know what to make out of it. It was one thing or another. But this movie, it's not the same thing. It's this is a movie that is a straightforward, as you say, gritty action film, but there's a lot of humor just with Stallone. The dialogue starts out terrible, but once he teams up with the cop that's on this case that involves him, which we'll get into plot in a little bit, once he teams up with this cop, he has some of. He's like riding around with your drunk dad.
He is.
Hey, what's wrong with you, boy? Hey, you know what you're doing. Get out the way. Let me do this for you.
Yeah, constantly telling you how stupid you are.
Exactly.
You don't know shit from your ass.
He's saying racist shit.
He's racist shit. He's just tolerating you being in the car. That's all. That's all it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's just tolerating you. But Stallone, man. There's a reason why Stallone has. I'm sorry for making fun of Stallone, man, because there's a reason why we still love Stallone. Mm-hmm. Stallone, at this point, I look back at his career. Stallone is. He just looks like a guy that's just happy to be there.
He is. He is. I mean, he is one of those guys that, I mean, he has a lot of a charisma when he's on screen. And it's not like, there's times when it's not like he's trying to do anything outside of his realm. He knows very comfortable who he is as a character actor, and he makes it work on the screen.
You know what? You're exactly right. Stallone is somebody, I know that he's tried some things in the past, and he hasn't had the success that he's always wanted with it.
Mainly comedies, usually.
A lot of comedies that he fucked up on. Anybody remember Rhinestone?
Oh, God. Anybody stop or my mom will shoot.
Oh, shit. And there's sometimes that he did it to success and nobody gave him any kind of attention.
Copland.
Yes.
Copland. I was like, give that guy another fucking Oscar, please. I mean, it's about his character they played was about as good and sympathetic as Rocky was,
It's seriously, man. And the guy, I mean, there's a reason why he's the entertainer that he is today. I mean, the guy's had whatever he's had success with it. You can say what you will about his failures, but a lot of his successes have been phenomenal successes, and and he's finally just come to embrace who he is, and people love him for that.
Oh, yeah.
That's why, say what you will about the Expendables, which I know we said a lot of bad things about.
We do say a lot of bad shit, yeah.
But people love him.
People run a flock, and I was excited about the Expendables because you know what? I thought he did a movie that, as far as trying to get back to that old, paying homage to the 80s films, I thought Rambo did that in spades. Rambo is still the best, the best return to that 80s action movie era that everyone is still trying to get on film, but they just can't do it. Stallone already did it. He did it before he even did Expendables.
And that's what works about this movie. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that work about this movie that are a throwback to that 80s. I mean, at a time when hipsters want to do this big throwback to the 80s. I don't know why a lot of people would criticize this when that's what this movie is clearly trying to be.
It really is.
Throwback to 80s action films. If you want to go real deep with this is even directed by a guy who had a lot of 80s action films. Jesus, what am I talking about? The guy that directed a lot of movies back in the 80s.
Walter Hill.
Yeah. This movie, I would say, is the closest thing. Forget that sequel to 48 Hours, man. This is the closest thing that you're probably going to get to something of a 48-hour sequel.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because in 48 hours,
it's like The Odd Couple.
Exactly.
I mean, you have being in a car looking for guys to kill.
Exactly. In 48 hours, you had a white cop who teams up with a black criminal. In this movie, you have a white criminal who teams up with a Korean cop.
Yeah, exactly.
And what this movie is, look, don't expect no deep plot in this because it starts out with Stallone as a hitman. He's out there with his partner. They go to do a job. The double cross happens. They go do the job, but somebody was waiting to kill them too. And so
the hunters have become the hunted.
Yeah,
and it's time to get revenge.
And Stallone ain't having that shit.
Oh, hell no. Not
Stallone
on his watch.
said, hey, fuck this. Whoever did this to me is going to die.
Oh, dead.
Yeah, I probably said it a little more clearly than he did. In the movie, he just said, well, you go double cross.
See, I had to read that on the Wikipedia just to know exactly what he was doing.
Now, of course, the guys that double cross him, the higher ups, the police are after him too. And there's a cop who has come to New Orleans where this movie takes place.
Sergeant Kabuki Man.
Pretty much. Detective Taylor Kwong. Yeah, played by Sung Kang, who was, you remember this guy?
That is the guy from the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Han Solo.
The guy who they killed and brought back. From the dead somehow. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So good they couldn't keep him down.
Can't keep a good Korean down.
No.
But he plays a detective who figures, hey, to get to these higher ups, I got to team up with this asshole hitman right here. But he says, hey, you know what? Hey, when this is done, you're going down.
It's like, that's a great way to start a friendship. Yeah.
I know. I was like, Jesus, what an asshole, man. Because Stallone plays a guy named Jimmy Bobo. Jimmy Bobo. Why the fuck they gave him that? I
They looked at his face and like, what else can we name
look
this
like
guy?
a Bobo. You look like Bobo.
You Bobo.
They probably asked him and say, "Hey, Stallone, what you want to name yourself in this movie?" Jimmy Bobo. Just write Bobo down. That's
He said Maloney, I think. But it sounded like Bobo.
I said Bobo. Yeah, we got you, man. Yeah, sure.
That's it. Yeah.
Write Bobo down, man. Shit, he don't even know. But yeah, so the guy tells, "Hey, Bobo, you're going down." He keeps doing this to this guy throughout the whole movie.
Throughout the whole goddamn
Stallone
movie.
says his ass how many times?
Yeah, and I don't get that. I was like, man, what, is Stallone in love with this dude or something? He's just too hot to kill.
Yeah.
I didn't get it because I was like, wow, I'm waiting for him just to have him at the end of the movie, knock him out cold, and it's like, our business is done.
It's done here.
Just walk away. Yeah, but I mean, that's the one kind of issue I had with this. Like, man, dude. When are you going to leave this guy fucking alone? He saved your ass. He got his daughter to come in, patch you up, and you're still being a goddamn dick.
No. This guy, no. He doesn't look like one of your usual low-life buddies.
The cop made the mistake of saving his life.
Well, that's a first. All right. Whatever, let's get him in.
Wait. What kind of doctor are you?
You did a year of med school. It's the best you're going to get.
It's not like he stole money from you.
Yeah, it's crazy how because Stallone keeps telling him, "I don't give a fuck about cops.
Yeah.
I'll give it just another cop scumbag."
Yeah.
And but every time that cop's in danger, that motherfucker's around the corner.
Around the corner, just like, saving his ass like Superman. It's like he's like the lowest lane, to Stallone's Superman.
Yeah,
I mean,
he is, man.
Every time that motherfucker gets himself in a position where he's either captured or about to get killed, boom,
Stallone is right
Stallone
there.
to the rescue. Yeah, Stallone to the rescue with a
I
big
think
ass.
there's a part of the story where Stallone had a crush on this guy. You know,
Yeah, I know.
I think he was like around the corner with his dick in his hand, looking at him. Oh yeah, keep walking.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I know.
oh shit, he's in danger.
I know.
I'll help you, my love.
Yeah.
Get away from him.
Hey, get over here, sweet Jane. I was like, does this guy look like Stallone's ex-wife or something that was killed in the line of duty?
Bring that sweet and sour ass over here.
Y'all give some of my kung pao chicken.
Because he does talk shit to him.
He does. He talks a lot of shit.
He
which
talks
is,
a
which
lot
is
of
great.
shit.
That's where the great comedy comes
Oh
from.
yeah. I don't know if he's talking shit to because but a lot of people go see this movie. I don't know a lot of them gonna be Asian. Yeah. Apparently, they were trying to get an Asian audience into this movie because you know who that character was supposed to be played by?
He was supposed to be played by a white dude by the name of. It wasn't Jason Statham.
McLovin.
Oh, what?
No,
I'm about to say, what the shit?
Pee Wee Herman.
Pee Wee Herman. God damn.
No, it was going to be Thomas Jane.
Oh, that's right.
Somebody said, you can't put the Punisher up.
Yeah, I
against
know.
Stallone.
What kind of those two will explode on screen.
yeah.
That shit happens.
You
The audience
crazy?
will explode with that.
You better put an Asian man in
yeah,
that shit.
you better put in a little bitch. Yeah, that can take these jokes. I don't see Thomas Jane laughing at any of these jokes when
No.
he reads that script. He's like, "What the fuck?"
No,
It's supposed to you put me in this movie to look like a bitch.
Apparently, Joel Silver thought that, well, we need a more diverse audience, so we need to add a non-white guy in this.
We need to get more Koreans in here.
You know who don't see enough action movies? Koreans.
Yeah, he said.
I don't know about
we
that.
need
You
more
see-
ethnic people in here. And usually, when I think ethnic, I'm like, you mean black, right?
That's what I'm thinking
I
too.
know.
And I'm sure that's what everybody thought too. They thought like, okay, what are you talking about, Will Smith?
Yeah.
No.
I know. That's unless Stallone went and told the director, "Is there one boy?"
Yeah.
I think he said Koreans. Yeah, is that what he wants?
That's probably what happened. They probably said, Stallone, who do you want to be your sidekick in this? Shang Kang. I think he's just some Asian guy.
I know an Asian guy. Oh, I thought he said Sean Connery. But I was like, what?
I got Stallone. Get an Asian guy. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this movie is it's such a throwback to the 80s, to that thing where the movie gets deeper as they try to find out who the higher ups are, who the real powerful people are behind the scenes. Yeah. And the more you get into it, the more, do you notice how as the story got more complex, the dumber it got?
Oh, yeah.
The point you didn't even give a fuck.
Yeah, especially when you found out that the main villain was Lex Luthor. trying to do his real estate scheme. You're like,
That's what it was.
Okay.
It's always some real estate scheme.
Yeah.
It's like, goddamn, can't you just flip property like everybody else?
I know, yeah. Like, can't you do it like the easy way where you can't get in trouble? I mean, you have money. I mean, it's not like that's an issue. I mean, yeah, come on.
Goddamn, can't you just go work for a real estate agent like everybody else?
I know. Yeah.
Instead of
State Farm is there and got 20, whatever, what the hell, 21st century, whatever.
And I love how the powers that be behind the scenes say, you're right. They made it sound like it was some. That when you didn't know what it was, they're trying to make it sound like, oh, this is something that goes all the way up to the government.
Oh, yeah.
But when you get to it, it's like, this guy just wants to buy the ghetto and put in some condominiums.
Yeah, I know. This goes all the way to the top, to the president.
Hey, man, we do this every day in Austin without killing people.
I know. It's like, damn, it must be hard to do shit in New Orleans.
Brother, it's called gentrification, not genocide.
Yeah, I know. It's like, hey, give it some time. They'll get another goddamn tsunami or something. Yeah.
And it's funny because they got people in this movie. Again, throw back to the 80s, because who's one of the powerful guys behind the scene here? Christian Slater.
Oh, yeah.
He's like some city official who's
playing himself, by the way. Drunk, mumbling, just retard.
Still doing that Jack Nicholson impression.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, boy. I don't know what
Wait
that
a minute. Who's that? That sounds like that gangster. What's his name?
Hey, boys. Hey, boys. Remember me? I love how I turned Christian Slater, Edward G. Robinson.
Edward G. Robinson.
Hey,
We're going to let you go all the way to the top, see?
But no, do you notice that whenever he came on the screen, like Christian Slater, he's been doing some cool things.
Yeah, he has.
But
he's had somewhat of a resurgence, yeah.
Yeah, but we still laugh when he comes on the screen.
Because he always looks fucked up. He looks drunk as hell.
He does.
And it's not like it doesn't look like he's acting. It looks like he's really fucked up. And you can't help but laugh at this little guy who seems to be like, oh man, ain't nobody gonna fuck with me.
I know.
And then Stallone comes in, oh shit.
Oh, and just knocks the fuck out of it. And it's funny because they make that guy so slimy that he likes to throw parties, and like these great grand Mardi Gras parties where there's just naked women walking around.
Yeah.
Like it's you thought Eyes Wide Shut was crazy. This guy, he said, fuck that. I'm doing this shit out in the open. Ain't no secret society shit going on here.
I'm inviting everybody.
He goes down the street. Hey, there's naked chicks in here. Who wants to come in?
Who wants to party?
Yeah.
Party, pizza party.
Booty party.
I know. That was the other hilarious thing. I was like, wow, they're not checking for invites. That's why all the cops and the drug lords are coming in.
That's how much this movie doesn't care about story.
Yeah.
It's that every detail, this movie, now people gonna jump on our ass about loopholes when we're talking about that warm bodies and stuff. Oh man, y'all nitpicking. Look, you can't nitpick at something like this because there's tons of fucking plot holes in this, and they don't give a shit.
No, it's like Swiss cheese. I mean, sure there are a lot of holes, but it still tastes good.
Oh yeah. If you're Stallone in New Orleans, you can just walk up in a party, kidnap somebody, take them to your house, and shoot them to death, and not have to suffer anything. You just walk out like nothing. You can blow up a fucking house. No cops.
No
come
cops.
out.
Yeah, cops don't exist in New Orleans.
You can blow up some cars. Nobody really in New Orleans. It's a free fall. Like this movie is. It's just like, hey, this movie says, fuck this story.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, we're introducing some story here because otherwise we wouldn't have a movie. But once it gets going, we don't give a fuck. This movie's about Stallone beating up his sidekick right here, making some racist jokes to this Korean, blowing up things, shooting people, beating people to a pulp. And if you don't like it, it's not for you.
If you don't like it, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I mean, and that's what I dig about it. They just don't give a fuck, and they're making the movie they want to make. It's gritty, it's dirty, it's offensive. And you know what? There's times when I watch an action movie where I want that. You know, I really do. I mean, and it's not, but I have to admit though, it's not one of those things where it is like glaring at you in the face going, look, we don't give a shit about plots or structure or anything. No. Because the thing is, it seems like everyone else they're taking the material very seriously. And I think that's part of the fun of watching it, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's one of those things where you can just, you can nitpick it to death, but at the same time, when those guns start going off, when those fight scenes happen, it's just like, you don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
It's almost like you'll ask me, some people will probably say, well, you're always talking about story. They're always talking about you care about the script. Right. Why are you giving this movie a pass? I'm not saying I'm giving it a pass in as much as this is an action film, and this movie wants to concentrate on what it does well, the action. if you're not trying to tell me some complex story through the whole thing, if your priorities are in place.
Yeah. If you're not trying to outsmart me with your story, going, okay, look at my shit, be impressed by it, be impressed by this complex story that I've woven that, only you can understand when I explain it to you at the end.
Yeah.
No, they don't, they're not doing that here.
No, they're not. It's almost as if the movie wants to say, we got to be a whole movie. Okay, let me get this villain something to do real quick right here, so we can keep the movie going and keep Stallone going after something. But they know good and well that this is a flimsy story. I mean, you look at this and they know they're really not trying to do that, and even that would still fail if you didn't have somebody with the charismatic attitude of Sylvester Stallone. When I say attitude, I mean attitude, because this guy can carry. This is the only guy that I can see walking around like he's got a stick up his drunk ass,
and
still turn that into somewhat of a swagger.
And there's something about that character that is very, very much likable. He's not changing who he is. There's no part in the movie where he's like, maybe I should treat you cops differently. No, not at all. He's very much the same guy he is from beginning to end. And, there is some kind of loyalty to his profession and his job that he just, he doesn't even have to tell you that. You can just watch him on screen. You can see the things that he does, and, and you know it. It's almost like you already get his backstory just through how he handles himself throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, that's great. If you follow this guy around, watch him beat up a bunch of people, watch him pick on his sidekick, it can be fun. Now, granted, everybody else in the movie, they're nothing. All right. I mean, really, they're nothing. Jason Momoa, the guy who played Conan and was that fucking crazy tribesman in
Game of Thrones.
Yeah. He gets some more speaking lines here. I know you're saying he was bad. I don't think he's a bad actor, but really, this character in the movie is just a force. That's all. He's just a bad guy because they need a big bad guy.
He is. They treat him like a force of nature. My only problem is that, they had him pretty much be a Terminator at the beginning of this movie. And then at the end of the movie, they were kind of like throwing him lines to where he's being very jokey, where I was like, this guy is really only good at one thing. Looking pissed, having that scowl on his face 24/7. I mean, there's a scene where you see him emerge from the swamp, and he still has that scowl, like, and it's like it doesn't leave his face. It's the same one that he had in Game of Thrones, and it's the same one that you saw in Conan. And he almost comes from that school of acting where just almost like where Schwarzenegger came from, where he was great. When you looked at Schwarzenegger, it's like the guy's a presence. He's fantastic. But the thing is that they don't give him a lot of lines because they know, look, this guy is meant to play a robot, a murderous robot, or he's just supposed to be Schwarzenegger, the guy that we remember being the robot.
Yeah.
And it works for him. With this guy, when they start giving him lines, you're like, okay, this guy is not really good at kind of balancing this material out. And I'm like, oh, this guy seems to me like a one-note kind of actor,
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He probably came in and said, "What's my motivation? Big."
Yeah, big.
You just big.
Look big and mean.
Well, what's my character person? You big, man. Just fucking walk in the room. That's it.
Yeah. You are a Terminator, all right?
Yeah, exactly. Walk in the room, stab somebody, shoot somebody. That's your fucking motivation.
Pretend you're Arnold. All right?
That's it. That character is there for no other reason just to be big and kill people.
And
that's it.
Yeah. It worked for Schwarzenegger playing a robot in Conan. We tried to make it work for you. But
they got some crooked cops in here.
Yeah.
They're nothing. Those characters are throwaway characters.
They're almost laughable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They try to put in this intricate thing in here. They don't give a fuck. They can't even make these crooked cops look convincing. And this
crooked cops got crooked teeth. You can see them a mile away.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing too. You can just you kind of already know where this is going before they even introduce that part of the story. You already know. Yeah. I mean, and this is what really had me laughing. And I gotta look this guy's name up. Akinnuoye-agbaje. I'll just call him the Negro behind it all.
Yeah.
Because in every movie, now that's the guy that played Mr. Echo on Lost. And he was at a BC on that show.
What was that show?
Oz,
that's right, and he's also in G.I. Joe, the first G.I. Joe.
Oh, he's in
that, yeah.
Well, there are so many movies where he's in a suit and he's the guy calling the shots.
Yeah.
How many movies have we seen him in so far where he's in a suit and he's like, please take care of this for me.
Yeah, I know.
Do not fail me.
Yeah, well, he's the guy they got playing Lex Luthor in this. I mean,
Exactly.
It's like, man, he is Lex Luthor. You know?
Make no joke about it. Yeah, he's a bald black Lex Luthor,
He
man, in
is.
this. And what was he in? He was in Get Rich or Die Trying, where he played Negro behind the scenes. in a suit.
In the suit. Hey, he looks good in a suit.
Yeah, that movie, Killer Elite, Negro in a suit.
Oh, yeah.
Behind the scenes. In this
Jason
movie-
Statham is going, hey, man, that's my gig.
Yeah, exactly. And he was riding a car telling people, please, now listen to the plan. And do not fail me. You know?
Oh, yes. He always has a smile on his face.
But
No matter
always
what
smiling.
line, he's always smiling.
Yeah.
Always got something to be happy about. Yeah.
And in this one, you know, Negro in the suit, sitting behind a desk, in a car, always calling the shots.
Yeah.
Please, you know.
Please,
Yeah,
kill everybody.
he has become a nuisance to me. You know?
I know. And that's the guy that you want.
Dispose of him.
Yeah, dispose of him. All heroes die. I'm sorry. You sound like Dracula now when I did
And just grinning in this fucking movie, man.
He is, yeah. And that's the kind of fun thing about this guy. He's so confident. And that's what I love. I love villains that just don't give a shit and they're confident about what they're doing. They think they're completely untouchable and it works. It really does work for this guy. Yeah.
Especially when they get their comeuppance and they gotta.
Oh, yeah.
Because listen, it's a very shallow role. He plays his villain over the top, but because he plays it in such a condescending way, because the guy has such a condescending attitude towards his lackeys, even Jason Momoa, if I want your opinion, I'll buy you a bread.
That was the best. That was the best part of the movie right there. And just that look on Jason Momoa's face where he's like, motherfucker.
And you know, whenever he gets it, and you know he's gonna get it.
Oh, yeah.
Look, you might have been laughing at him before, but it feels so good to see him after fucking swallow that fucking smirk.
Yeah, I know. You want to see them like reach in and take that smile and shove it up his ass at the end of the movie. That's what you want.
Crying like a bitch in there.
Yeah. And it's small details like that which make this, it makes this movie work. And it's a well-oiled machine that knows what
Exactly.
it's doing. And like with any well-oiled machine, I was having a fucking blast.
Exactly. I mean, they do. They. I would say this movie even does dumb things just to try to to amuse you. I mean, you get somebody right there at gunpoint. You get the hero of the film at gunpoint. And what do you want to do? Oh, I'm gonna put the gun down. Hey, let's fight with axes.
Yeah,
how fucking dumb can you be?
Yeah. And even the fact that they have the character realize how dumb this is, like, well, what the hell? What are we, gladiators?
What are we, Vikings? You know? I'm thinking the same thing. Like, really? You got a clean shot right there. You're just gonna like just drag this shit out.
But he's
just so it look cool, so you can fight with some axes.
Yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, I'll play with you.
Yeah. Oh, this is stupid, but I'll go.
And it's fun, when they do that kind of shit.
But it's still fun.
Yeah.
I mean, again, if you didn't have the attitude of Sylvester Stallone sitting up there, even there's times in the movies where he's even looking around him and saying, "Look, I know this is stupid. Okay, I'm thinking this is stupid."
Looking right at the camera, going,
just stick with me, okay? I'll give you some. I'll entertain you. Just ignore this shit. Just stick with me.
How about this? How about I never give you a single slow moment in this film at all? How about that?
Yes, that's another thing. And we don't deal with a lot of slow motion. People, I can't stress how much to you that this really is an 80s flick. An 80s flick.
It is.
Look, if you want to treat it like the 80s flicks that you see today and watch it on TV, I don't blame you. Whatever. But I know if I was to go see this again with you, maybe by myself wouldn't be as fun. But people, if you go with some friends and watch this at a matinee, shit, even if you were to pay, I'm giving it a matinee, but because that's just the grade. I'm giving it a matinee because, look, there's something to be said about a movie. You can only not give a fuck so much before
right.
You can't use that as an excuse for the whole film. So I'm giving it a low matinee, but I'm telling you, if you pay full price for this and you went to see with your friends, you guys just had some beers before, you sneak some beers in, you got a flask, are you with your buddies and you snuck into a rated R movie? It's cool. The movie has tons of nudity in it, especially with it's blood, a lot of nudity.
Oh, yeah.
And who's the is it Sarah Shahi who plays Stallone's daughter?
I've never seen her before in a movie, so yeah, she's
she-
new to me. But
she's hot.
she gets naked.
She gets naked.
Yeah,
Again,
she looks
hey,
great.
Hey, baby, 80s movie.
Yeah, hey.
You better pull them titties out.
Time for them shiny titties. Yeah, I'm blaring through. I love it.
Hey, and Mr. Ass, you ain't too far behind. All right?
It would have been perfect if her titties were shooting out bullets. I mean, yeah,
hey, man.
Perfect.
That's the only thing that's
better
missing.
than sex.
Yeah, but low matinee for me, a lot of fun.
Oh man, I'm right there with you, man. Hanging out with you guys, watching it. It was another midnight movie madness.
Midnight movie madness. But
start
at 10.
Well, yeah, it started at 10. 10 o'clock movie madness. But it's fun. It's everything that when I watched the trailer, it was everything that I was expecting. At least what I got from a trailer. It didn't lie to me, and I appreciated that. And the fact that Stallone is just doing his thing, his charisma's up on screen. The guy still has the talent to shock and amaze you, especially when he's just being a badass on screen. He's playing the likable badass, a guy like any kid could watch and go, I want to be that guy someday.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's a fun ass movie, but no, it does have its problems. And I'm going to give you my rating right now. I'm going to give it a matinee. And one of the major reasons why I'm giving it a matinee is because I did have a problem with the cop. There's a point where you're like, okay, this guy has to turn around at some point and give Stallone's character some slack or something. But man, they make this guy the most incompetent guy in the movie.
He's the fucking dumbest cop I've ever seen, man.
He is. He's like, I mean, he might as well be running around with Ace Ventura, Pet Detective or something. But at least Ace Ventura has like something hilarious about him that you like. This guy, it's just like, man, he is just bitching throughout the whole movie. And and you're always expecting that middle part of the movie where the character soon, he realizes that, hey, this guy has been, saving my ass. I got to give him some leeway. It's almost like those Fast and Furious movies where the cop turns to realize, like, these aren't terrible people.
Yeah.
But that moment never happens in this movie.
I got to agree with you on that because I think that there was a lack of chemistry. I mean, if you're going to make a buddy film, we throw that word around a lot, chemistry, but a fucking buddy film.
Yeah, a buddy film.
You get these guys, Sylvester Stallone, he's lighting up. He's saving this guy. He's cool. He's it's almost like he adopted a pet Korean.
Yeah, I know. It's like a pet Korean Chihuahua.
Yeah,
he just don't shut up and it's always
a pain in the ass, but he's mine.
Yeah, exactly.
But this guy is just one note with that whatever code he has where it's like, hey, look, I'm not giving up. Once this is done, I'm taking you in. I'm not saying that couldn't have worked. I'm not saying that at some point in the movie he looks at Stallone and says, "Oh, buddy, I can't be mad at you." I mean, that whole thing could have worked where say I'm bringing you in, but there never was. I never got that feeling of one place where it really worked was The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. You had Clint Eastwood and Eli Wallach.
Eli Wallach. Okay.
You have Clint Eastwood and Eli Wallach. These are two guys. They're never going to be buddies. They're never going to be best friends. But there's a moment when they have to come together and work together. You root for that.
Oh,
you cheer that on. When you get people, when you get characters in a movie from two different backgrounds, they might be enemies. They might just come from different backgrounds. They might just have big differences. But there's a point where they have to work together, and that never happened in this movie. Where this cop and Stallone, where they had to come together and join forces, and you cheered it on when they had to do that.
Oh, yeah, no, there's not. I mean, I was like, shit, hell, He-Man and Skeletor managed to work with each other more than once, and they somehow got it right when they had to split ties, but not in this movie. I'm just like, really? Come on, man. Like, you gotta make this guy somewhat likable at the end, because at the end of the movie, he just seems like still a whiny bitch.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that. I didn't like that they did that with his character, because in some ways, I think they undermined that character.
You never liked that character.
But yeah, you just don't, man. And you want to. There's a thing you kind of want to.
Well, for a buddy movie, you have to like both of them.
I mean, there's a reason why they call it a buddy movie, not an asshole partner picture, I guess. That don't sound great.
Yeah, not one guy with an asshole friend.
Exactly.
Or an asshole sidekick.
Yeah, no, it's like Stallone, if they were real life, the guy would be used as a human shield because he's so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason why I'm giving it a matinee. Other than that, if they would have fixed that one problem, it would have easily been a full price for me.
I wonder
I can't help but not notice that throughout the whole movie.
I agree with you. It makes me wonder. This is based on, I think, a French graphic novel.
Yeah, it's based on a French graphic novel that nobody's ever read.
Ever read. Yeah. Especially, I guess Stallone read it.
Yeah, I hope he didn't try to read it to anybody else, because there ain't nobody going to be able to understand that.
Well, shit, listen to him. You probably think he's talking French.
You and me,
Got a little unfinished business to take care of.
You're gonna fight or you plan on boring me to death? I know, I've heard the speech. We should have taken him in. Don't trust anybody. That's how you stay in the game. Bang, down, owned.